You're here because you want to learn how to succeed even in the face of insurmountable odds. Well, I want to tell you a story about my home. And I said, this home is mine, right? Yeah, that's pretty nasty, huh? Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about me. I am a woman with 2 children, and I had been married for 20 plus years, and the marriage had turned bad. It turned very nasty, and the dad had left, my ex-husband had left the home, and it was a nasty, awful divorce. And when all was said and done, at the end of the divorce, I was supposed to refinance the house in my name and get his name off of the note. And I got to keep the house. I paid him equity. That's fine. But that's all my divorce paper said, is to refinance the note, right? Well, I tried to refinance the note. Several years back, in the face of all of these real estate crashes, I had gotten into the real estate market in Florida, and I had bought some investment houses, and they had gone belly up. Now, even though they had gone belly up, we had a court case against them because we actually had appraisers who lied to us, right? So it was in the middle of this huge class action lawsuit. I had terrible credit. I couldn't get a loan. And 90 days or 120 days, I can't remember what it was now, I was supposed to refinance the house and get my ex-husband's name off of it. I guess in and of itself, I didn't care about that. I had 2 children, and my children wanted to stay in the home, the only home they'd ever known. That was a value for me. I refused to have children until I had a home for them. I grew up in the same home. My mother still lives in the home where I grew up. That was a core value for me, is to provide the same home, to provide roots for my children, the same home that they could grow up in all of their lives. So it was a big deal for me. Well, when I got divorced and I tried to refinance, then I sent letters through my lawyer saying that I tried, but I couldn't refinance. And I was told to sell the home and move out. I didn't like that answer. My lawyer told me I had to sell the home and move out. So I went to another lawyer who also told me I had to sell the home and move out. And it was 2 or 3 years later where I finally found a lawyer who said, well, it doesn't say you have to sell the home and move out, and you tried, so let's give it a whirl. So I'm probably like 5 lawyers in by now, finding somebody who will help me. But the odds, honestly, 5 lawyers told me I couldn't do it, and this one tells me I can. Very unrealistic that I could stay in the house. But I was fight anyway, fight for my children. You know, in the face of adversity, we don't fight for ourselves, but we fight for those that we love. And I just kept saying to myself, this house is mine, this house is mine, this house is mine, this house is mine, in the face of all of that adversity. Well, I've been working with a credit specialist, and then the child custody came up, so I stopped working with the credit specialist and worked on the child custody part of the divorce. And then it was December, and the child custody was done, so I started working with this credit specialist again, who's also a realtor. And I picked up the phone and I called him. I said, okay, this is done. Now what can I do to make my credit better? He looked it up. He goes, what did you do? I'm like, not a thing. You didn't do anything? I said, no, not a thing yet. I've been focused on the custody. He goes, wow. All your bad credit dropped off. See, during that period of time, it apparently had aged 7 years. I wouldn't have thought it had aged 7 years, but it had aged 7 years. So it dropped off my credit report. So in 48 hours, I had applied for a loan. I had provided all the documentation. I did everything I needed to do. And within 2 months, I had refinanced my house. Now, you might be saying that, yeah, it happens. You should have known, 7 years, blah, blah, blah. No, I had this guy looking 6 months before that, 6 months before I found a new lawyer to see what he could do for me. And he said, this is going to be on there. You're going to have to do something else. We're going to have to do something else. It shouldn't have aged off like that, or nobody knew that it would. So I feel, and I'm taking it, this is my story and I'm sticking to it, that whenever you have a strong desire to help someone else, a strong desire to take care of children, miracles happen, things that you never anticipated. I had a lawyer, I was loaded for bear. That was the way I was going to fight it. I didn't have to fight anymore. It just fell off. It fell off. And the house appraised for more than I could have ever thought, almost double what it appraised for a mere year before that. It was amazing. So I got rid of the first and the second loan, and I was able to take care of all of that in the space of 2 months. My life was better, and I got to keep the house for the children. Everything I needed, everything I just said was going to happen, did happen in a way that I never anticipated. Now, I know that's kind of woo-woo, and I know that's kind of weird, and I'm kind of an executive, and I'm an accountant, and, we don't embrace that kind of stuff very often. But I'll tell you this, the power of the mind is insurmountable. And if you truly believe that something will happen for you, if it's truly the best thing for you, for your family, if you're doing it with a golden heart, I think it'll happen. It did for me, and it never should have. I think it will for you too. So never give up. In the face of insurmountable odds, if you are really thinking about something that's better for someone else, trying to make life better for someone else, if your heart is gold when you're making those attempts, don't lose the faith. I don't care what your religious affiliation is. Everybody believes in something, that something can happen. Don't lose the faith. Keep the faith, and it will happen for you. Leslie Peabody, Ninjas in High Heels. Hey, send me a chat on Facebook. Let me know what happens for you. Bye-bye.